Hello, and welcome to ALLO Fiber's presentation for the 2024 UNL Senior Design Capstone Project. My name is Kevin Wujik. I'm a software development manager here at ALLO, and I will be the project sponsor for this year. So let's start off a little bit of a primer about who ALLO Communications is. We're a telecommunications company, which is offering fiber telephone, long distance, broadband, internet, and television, both residents and businesses. Currently, we're in 4 states: Nebraska, Colorado, Arizona, Missouri, and we cover about 45 markets. And that number of markets is growing. Really, I love this slide that we have here. It's a little bit different, but it kind of emphasizes what we call our core values. Our core values as a business are to be exceptional, be honest, be hassle-free, and local. That really sits in the center. And as you look around the slide itself, you'll see a number of different awards and this is just a small subset of the awards that we've gotten regionally, based off of these core values. These core values really drive who we are, not only from a customer-facing perspective, but also how we operate, how we work on a daily basis, how we interact with each other. Let's talk a little bit about the teams that are going to be involved in this project. So, as I mentioned, my name is Kevin Wujik. I'm a software development manager. Certainly, myself and a couple of key support staff from my team will be involved. We're also going to have construction and design, our supply chain group, and also our finance as well. And what I really think is important to realize with the opportunity of this project is visibility and just the breadth of exposure that this project gives. Um, as I mentioned, certainly software development, near and dear to my heart. We're going to be involved there. But you're going to see some of the construction side of things. You're going to see some of the design things, the supply chain and the finance, and really the exposure and the interest in this project extends not only from my group and the people who are actually doing work, but all the way up to the C-suite with our chief construction officer and also our CFO. There's really a lot of exposure, and coming out of the project, you're going to get a good visibility into not only the processes on a daily basis, but different areas of our business on top of the software development, of course. I think it's important to give you a little bit of background on the process itself when we go into a new market in order for you to appreciate and understand where this project fits into the fold. Um, So we at Allo actually design and construct the fiber networks ourselves, meaning we go ahead and we figure out what are the materials, how is it going to be broken down, how is it going to connect into our larger network. We do all of that on our own. So the way that happens is our design team uses a software called 3GIS. 3GIS allows us to take a market and think of a market as a town for this conversation, and break it down into smaller subdivisions, which are called PONs or passive optical networks. So each PON has this unique set of requirements. They're going to have different materials that are going to be needed. They're going to have different counts of materials needed, lengths of materials, so on and so forth. So 3GIS goes ahead and takes our plans for a market or for a pond specifically and spit out this bill of materials or that BOM for us. Then what happens is the design team takes that BOM and consolidates that up into a market level. So let's say a particular market is comprised of 5 different ponds. They take all 5 of those separate spreadsheets and they consolidate that into one master spreadsheet that's done at the market level. Then after that happens, they do some quality control checks. And the quality control checks will be to check, is the area accurate? Is the amount of footage that we have for fiber accurate based off of what we're looking for? If we're doing a lot of aerial builds, are the connectors there? Things like that. It's really a manual consolidation, really a manual QC at this point. We do have some scripting involved there, but this is something that we're looking at improving on and even layering in something, maybe along the lines of AI for sure. So the problem as it sits today is the process is very manual, could be very time consuming, could be error prone, and also it's not scalable. As we continue to build out more and more markets and we do it at a quicker and quicker pace, all of those things that I mentioned before really kind of add a layer of complexity to the process that we really hope to eradicate. So really, if you look at where we see the big wins, it's in the automation, automating the creation of the ponds through the pond bill of materials through 3GIS, consolidating those individual ponds at a market level, and then providing quality control, automating this quality control. Look for interrelationships of materials. Again, I mentioned the conduit to fiber as an example. If, for instance, we know that we have, a market that happens to have a lot of poles that we have to deal with, so we're dealing more in an aerial perspective. Are we including the proper materials, the connectors, and all of that to attach the poles? If it's underground, do we have the right amount of conduit? Do we have the right amount of fiber to go inside of those? All of those pieces kind of put together. And really what we're looking for is just to add just that automation to those processes. Again, automate that bill of creation, that bill of material creation and consolidation, and then automate those QC checks. So the benefits for sure for us, again, are automation, automation, automation. Automate the creation of those pod level bombs and consolidate them into the marketing level spreadsheet. Automatically validate those bombs. Make sure that we have those synergies that we're expecting to see. We have those complementary relationships between materials, and be able to lay that over what we've experienced historically to make sure that we're on the same track. If you want to look at true value, this has a lot of value to our organization. We would expect that within our design team, we could probably save about 2 to 3 hours per week. Supply chain and finance teams think an additional 3 to 5 hours per week. And if you kind of extrapolate that out across the year, we're talking about 24 to $39,000 worth of anticipated savings that we hope to realize with this project. So this really has a whole lot of value, not only from an automation perspective, but it really impacts the bottom line and help us to run more efficient and more effective as an organization. Our vision for the project involves four phases. The first phase being the automation of bill of material generation. Second phase is the BOM spreadsheet data validation, so that QCing automation that we've talked about. Third phase being the integration of the approved spreadsheets into Smartsheets. And Smartsheets is a tracking software that we use within construction to kind of keep things moving, see where we're at for a communication perspective. And then the fourth phase is costing automation. The last two phases, I would say, are more kind of the cherry on top, where really the big value that we see is implementing those first two phases and automating those processes. As far as technology is concerned, there are a few absolutes that we're going to be dealing with. We absolutely will be dealing with 3GIS. So that is our fiber network management software which I mentioned creates those bills of material for the individual pods. We will be working with Excel to go ahead and get that information out there. And there will be some sort of probably Python scripting and REST API calls in order to automate that entire process. As far as software engineering is concerned at ALLO, we are a AWS shop, so we do use DynamoDB, EC2, Lambda, S3 storage, API gateways. My anticipation is that we'll use some of these technologies, maybe all of them, maybe just some of them, but we will be using them as we build this thing together. The beauty of this is the entire process is going to be, as we learn more, we're going to figure out what are the right tools to use, what are the right options to use, what are the technologies that we should use. And I should also say that there's a very, very likely chance that GPT is going to be involved in this as well. As an organization, and myself included, we are very interested in understanding and unlocking the power of GPT, specifically around some of those analysis points. Are there ways that we can learn from our past experiences to make our processes better going forward, to make our analysis that much easier, to get things costed out and built out accurately up front, so we truly have a good understanding of what it's going to take to build out the new market. So that's all I have as far as a quick presentation is concerned. I really want to thank you for giving us the opportunity here and giving us consideration to our project. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you're going to get a lot of great exposure and a lot of great experience. And again, just on behalf of myself and the entire Albo Fiber team, hope to be seeing you soon and really appreciate your time. Thank you.